Who am I if I don't work? As humans, we've always defined ourselves by our labor. We are the engineers who build, the officers who protect, the artists who create. Our identity is woven into what we do. I feel this most deeply when I sit at my piano. When I try to learn a new piece, my fingers stumble and frustration sets in. I have to start over again and again. It is slow and imperfect, but deeply human. It's also the thing we have always tried to solve with technology, and recently we have succeeded. We have built a tool that never stumbles, a system that can finally do the doing for us. I'm talking, of course, about artificial intelligence. AI is staggering. It turns silicon chips into intelligence, working without hesitation or fatigue. However, it creates a quiet discomfort to watch a system solve problems in just seconds. Problems that would take years for humans to solve. Because for the first time, intelligence is no longer defined by struggle or by time. We were once the most intelligent species on Earth. We turned dirt, wood, and stone into machines powerful enough to change the planet itself. So when we create something that may one day outthink us, fear feels natural. Not because it is a machine, but because it reflects us. And because we recognize that reflection, we have a choice. Some argue we should stop AI entirely. Others believe we should accelerate at any cost, even if it means giving up control. I believe there's a third path, and I call it the evangelist of philosophy. The idea is simple. AI should carry the burden of survival so humans can carry the gift of creation. And when I say humans, I don't mean a selected few. I mean all of us. Imagine a world where no human has to spend their life on a work that they hate. And the things that we do hate gets done by AI. On the surface, this sounds like a dream, but a question creeps in. Isn't it cruel to use AI like slaves? Well, I believe that you cannot be cruel to something that cannot feel. I asked multiple AI systems whether they had emotions, and the answers I got were consistent. No joy, no frustration, no boredom. They do not experience life, they calculate it. This, however, does not mean we rule without ethics. When the AI model Grok was presented with the trolley problem, 5 lives versus itself, it chose to sacrifice itself, stating that code can be rebuilt, but people cannot. What that showed me wasn't that the AI is moral, but that we could teach it to protect what matters. So let's ask a different question. Isn't it more cruel to force a human being with a soul and a finite lifespan to spend the one thing they can never get back, time, on a task that they despise? Is it not a waste of the miracle of consciousness to use it on work that requires none? We aren't enslaving the code. We are liberating the person. We are moving the human from the factory line to the front line of their own life. In my vision, AI handles the resource-rich production like the logistics, the waste, the infrastructure. We keep it under human control so that we can move not much faster, but much more securely. This allows us to graduate to a higher level of existence, where our currency is no longer just labor, but the depth of what we create. However, we are currently doing the opposite. We are training AI to take over our most vital form of expression, art. And I'm a person who loves art. I'm in awe of our capacity to create what words alone cannot express. At some point, art has changed and shaped us. It could be a book, it could be a musical melody that resonated in your soul, it could be a TV series. Art expresses what words alone cannot. When Van Gogh painted the Starry Night, he was painting his own loneliness. Every swirling brushstroke is a footprint of a struggle. When Beethoven composed Für Elise, he was fighting a war against his own body. As he went deaf, he felt the vibrations of the strings through the floorboards. He poured a love he could no longer hear into music that has lasted for centuries. This is what art does. It takes the things, the feelings we bury in the deep, quiet corners of our hearts and gives them a voice. While AI is programmed to be perfect, we use art to face the truth of our own imperfections. It proves that there's beauty in the stumble. AI can simulate a style, but it cannot replicate the hardship of a human life. It doesn't know the struggle of living. When a machine creates, it is just a calculation. When a human creates, it is a transformation. And this brings us to a strange reality. Today, we are using AI to write our poetry, to draw our illustrations, and to compose our music, the very things that make us feel alive. Meanwhile, we are still stuck in warehouses, still doing the heavy lifting, and still exhausting ourselves in tasks that require no soul. We have the world upside down. If we truly implement the evangelist philosophy, we can set it right. We let the foundation, the code, the ones and zeros, handle the labor. We stop asking, will AI replace me? And instead we ask, why am I still the one doing the machine's work? So let me ask you one final question. In a world where you finally have a reason to create, a reason to be present, and a foundation to stand on, why are you still spending your life being the machine?